let's get started. So welcome everybody. Good morning. Welcome to our December 4th meeting. Good to see you all. I missed you last week, so that's why I had to invite a bunch of dogs over. Here is our theme this year, Rotary Opens Opportunities, and I think we're doing our darndest, so that's great. And our vision statement for Rotary, which you've all seen, and also a reminder about our valuing diversity. And let's do some introductions. I'm going to start on my screen, and we'll start, Mike, with you.
Hello, everybody. I'm currently in Bogota, Colombia, with my fiance, Mira.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. Welcome.
Bienvenidos.
And then, Marianne, you want to introduce yourself briefly here?
Yes, Marianne Hyken, program leader and teacher for English Express. Thanks for having me.
And she'll be talking to us more in a little bit. I'm looking through all. Oh, Carly, hi.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Carly. I'm a Eureka Rotarian, and I'm also with Food for People.
Hi, Carly.
Great. And then I am seeing Sari.
Hi, I'm secretary for Interact at Arcata High.
Great, welcome. Thanks for being here. And then I think the iPhone person is one of us. Let's see. Yeah, great. Those are our guests. Welcome, everyone.
I have a guest, Amy, behind me.
Where are you? Oh, hi, Amy. Are you on your way out to exercise, or are you actually going to stand there for us today? Are you staying with us? No, you're on your way out, aren't you? Well, it's good seeing you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too.
Great, great. All right, so good. Welcome, everyone. We're going to get right into it. We've got a lot of stuff to share with you today. This is the club stuff. Want to remind everybody, these dates are coming up. Please put those on your calendar. I mean, the dates are already on your calendar, so go ahead and put the time and the event on your calendar so that we don't forget about these workshops we've got going. And we'll be reporting more about that and coming up soon about what we'll be doing at those. So that's going to be exciting. Sunrise Wednesday, next week. What are we doing, Jess?
Yeah, hi Maggie, thank you. So Sunrise Wednesday, it's the second Wednesday of December next week. And so your fellowship committee is planning our next Zoom social. It's a holiday celebration. So don your holiday apparel, bring your holiday cocktail, bring a story of a tradition from your family, how you might be changing it this year, because we know that things are a little bit different with the holidays this year. But so we'll see you all on Zoom. I think that you can pre-order cocktails from Vanessa to be able to pick up before, and that'll be at 5:15. And again, apologies for last month when we got badly Zoom bombed. We have better safeguards in place this year or this month, so we're still figuring out the process, but hoping that it should go smoothly and should be a nice opportunity for some fellowship. So look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday on the screen.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll be sending out the invite to that after this meeting or sometime today. So take a look at that, and that should be fun. Thank you. Thank you, Fellowship Committee. Thank you, Jessica. I want to remind you all to not forget to Slack. We've had, many of us have signed into that. If we sign in and we use it, if we all use it, it will work great. If everyone's not on there, then it won't. So I know it's one of those things that you go, oh no, not another new thing, but it will help us minimize some of the email traffic that we use that gets really confusing, and keep people in their in their lanes with the different committees and stuff. So take a look at it if you haven't already, and let us know what you think about it. We'll have more, we'll do some more training on that, or more digging around in there so people get more comfortable with it at a future meeting. But I wanted to remind everybody to accept the invitation and get in there and sign up for things. Barbara, do you want to share anything from the PR committee?
Sure. Good morning, everybody. Just that we had a PR committee meeting the other day. It was really good. Thanks to everybody who attended, and to all the committee members. We're just putting together a plan where when anything happens, any kind of service projects or fundraising projects or anything that we're doing out in the community, and we want to get PR for it, we're going to have a system in place. So we're going to be a well-oiled machine. Things will come to me, and then I will distribute it to the committee, and it'll go out on social media, radio, and print. So that's kind of our plan. We're working on becoming that well-oiled machine.
Great. Yes. Thank you. I wanted to just remind everybody about the Polio Plus Society, that if you get involved with this before the end of the year, I think there'll be you'll get some match in some local points. Match, what am I trying to say? Anyway, you'll get all this good stuff. You'll be helping with the polio mission to eradicate polio, and it'll be an easy thing to do. I do $10 a month, and it's easy peasy. So you can go on to Rotary Direct, and it takes like, it is so easy to donate money, unfortunately, but it doesn't take very long, and it's very easy, and you'll make a world of difference. So I just want to remind everybody about that option. We've got some service things going on. I've put service and fundraising all together because without the fundraising, there's no service. So we're going to jump into that. Just one last reminder. If you're able to send in $25 to help with this event. Normally when we do our events, we're all on the hook for trying to sell tickets and do all this other stuff. And this year it's a lot different, and it's also a lot easier because we're just asking you if you're able to send in $25 to help. This money goes to it goes to our vendors. It goes to supporting the local businesses in our area that have been hit really hard. So this little bit that you give will really help. And you can Venmo it. You can Venmo it, you can send a check, you can walk up to Sophie and give her $25 in ones. You can do all kinds of things, but please think about that. And then Lisa, do you want to say anything about what we're doing, what's still needed or what's happening about the taste?
So thank you, Maggie. So tomorrow is the packing of the bags, and we've got people signed up for that. And then delivery pickup, curbside delivery is at from 2 to 3 or 2:30 to 5:30. I think that I'm not 2 to 3, 3 to 5, sorry. Or I think it was on Facebook, it was 2:30 to 5:30 they had it signed up, but we'll be there the whole time. So we've gotten all of our product from our vendors. These are what our bags are going to look like. They're insulated, and they say Taste of the Holidays on them, and with the Rotary logo. And then inside we've got,
oh no.
We've got Ryan's Creek, which is the boardroom. Here's some bacon that we have. We also have Cypress Grove cheese. We have cookies from Ray's Food Place. They put some cookies together. We have Diane's Sweet Heat Jam. We've got Kinetic Coffee, a little, 3-4 cups of coffee, which you grind. We've got beer, Mad River. We've got bottle of wine. This is a Sauvignon Blanc from Fieldbrook. We have, and there will be 2 cans of beers in each bag. We have some Humboldt hot sauce, the emerald sauce. We also have a Tommaso's marinara. And we have blackberry bramble barbecue sauce. And then we'll be adding in today, we'll be adding in some ladybugs from Brio bread and what was the other one? Oh, and some gingerbread cookies from Ramon's. So we've got a lot of things here that are in the bag. It's a great package. And I'm just looking at, I want to make sure that if you know someone that has ordered one, because we are all sold out, please remind them to come by tomorrow to pick them up. And we will be having the delivery from anywhere from 2:30 to 5:30. The pickup will be.
I want to add one thing. It's really nice. We've got a great collection of stuff from our local vendors and really helping support our club and our community. And there'll also be an envelope inside here with a bunch of some coupons and other information about businesses that provided that to us. It really helps our overall program, of course, if everybody can throw in their $25 at least to the club to help offset the balance of the books on how this is all working. Our profit back to the club funding is really dependent a lot on those funds as well. So thanks again for all your effort and support.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Lisa, for leading this and for all the extra effort going into this project this year. It's a unique way to keep taste going. And so I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the hard work that everyone's done to make this happen. And here are the list of some of the vendors. And there is a blank screen. Aha. Do we have anything we want to share about the Gratitude Week?
I would say just keep submitting nominations. We had, last time I looked, I think we had about 40, which is really fun and exciting to see. And tonight's midnight is the deadline. So if you know of anybody that you want to nominate to get one of the goodie bags, a frontline worker, today's the deadline.
That's amazing, 40, that's wonderful. So, and I wanted to tell you something else. I've added Gratitude Plus. So North Bay Rotaract and our club are working with Mad River Hospital to select a few of their staff who may be having some difficulties, some extra challenges as related to COVID, you know, whether a spouse or partner's out of work, whether they're having, you know, childcare challenges, whatever it might be. And each of our clubs is going to donate up to $600 to go to a select group of Mad River employees. They're going to let me know today who those people are. And we're not having a big party or anything. It's just going to be us doing this quietly and providing that direct support to them. So, so that's something else we're doing. I felt like it would be nice to reach out to them and provide a little more. Just people need cash, you know, they need money in their pocket right now for some things. So, so we'll do a press release on that once we have more details, and just it will be more of a general thing that we did. And I'll get you information, Barbara, once we have it. But no photo op for this one, just a gift. And yeah, I was really pleased that Rotaract jumped on it when I went to their meeting this last week. They were very excited to be able to do that. So we're doing that together. Food for People, I pulled up some of these drop-off things that are happening, but we asked Carly to come and give us more details and also talk about the high school, what the high school is doing. Carly, will you want to share with us?
Yeah, so the big thing coming up is actually Senator Mcguire's Hunger Buster Week, where he challenges each of our local high schools to raise food or funds for the food bank. It's a really neat initiative with, you know, young local leaders who really step up to the plate and do some amazing things. And Jennifer had asked if I'd come talk about it, see if we can get some support. The Arcata High School kids are again collecting food and funds to support the food bank this year. All the kids have been getting really creative with everything they've been doing. Obviously, this is a really difficult year. Many aren't meeting in person. There's lots of ways you can support them. If you feel inclined, you can come out. We're going to be having our collection day at Safeway in Eureka next Thursday. That's December 10th from 3 to 6. Or if you want to donate to their cause specifically from the safety of your own home, each class has their own individual link where you can help them, and in extension, help people in our community who are suffering now and need a little extra help to put food on the table. The need is definitely growing. We've been doing outdoor distributions, and the lines we've been seeing have just been staggering. So we're really grateful and excited for Senator Mcguire and all of the students help at this time of year.
Thank you. Yeah. So it's great that you're doing these collections, and it's a really good opportunity for us all to, especially, if you're still working your regular job as normal or as close to normal as things can be, this is really the year that those of us who are lucky enough to have our regular jobs and regular income to give some of that back, because any of us could so easily be in this situation of the people that Carly is seeing. We could all be in that situation tomorrow. So please dig deep and give to Food for People as best you can this year. Thank you, Carly, and thank you for bringing her in. And of course, reminder, Backpacks for Kids is something we're always doing. And I hope do we have somebody signed up for next week?
So we have Cam signed up for next week, and I want to thank Stephanie Lane and John and Romy for packing this week. And Stephanie got those bags all delivered yesterday, and that was perfect. There's the last week, which is not next week, but the week after. I do not have a sign up for that I've seen anyway, and I will double check that, but I'm hoping somebody will. Am I muted? I'm hoping that somebody will step up to that plate. So, but thank you very much for those that did it this week, and thank you Cam and Lisa for next week packing and delivering. Appreciate it.
And in the next week, I'll launch the Sign Up Genius for the winter quarter. So there'll be a new calendar coming up starting in January.
Great. And then a new team, I think I'm on that team, a new team will be ushered in with the new year to take us through the cold, dark winter months with this one. So
yes, and I'll go ahead and send out the list again with the instructions and the places for pickup and the times and all of that to the new group.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for that effort, that team effort. We have a new team effort happening. It's called Mask with a Message. And Barbara, do you want to tell us about this?
I feel like I'm talking a lot today. So a month or so ago, I got this idea to make masks with a message to send to some of my friends who are working in social justice, and people really like them. So then I got the idea, okay, maybe I'll expand it. And I just happened to mention it on a call, and Amanda said, "Oh, I'll help make masks." So then of course it's like, oh, cool. Then we have a project. So we're making these masks. We have fabric with messages of peace and social justice. Here's the first one that I made. This is the sample one that I made that I gave to my friends. We're making more of these, but there are also, there's different fabrics. We have some Ruth Bader Ginsburg fabrics, some cranes, like peace cranes, some really nice kind of Mexican themed, colorful fabric. And then we're also going to be making masks to go into, we have some hero themed fabric to go into the goodie bags we're going to be giving out. So we're selling masks for $15 a piece. Think about them as stocking stuffer. If you want to round up to 20, we want to be able also to donate masks to kids. And all of the money that we raise, 100% of the profits that we make will be given to programs that are supporting equity education and projects supporting Black, Indigenous, people of color youth in our community. So we need help. We need help making masks, cutting out masks. We can use fabric for backs of masks. and we want people to buy masks. So I'm working right now with Ed and Ashley to figure out actually the logistics of how this is all going to work, and we'll have more information about that next week.
Very cool.
Maggie, you're muted.
I muted myself so I wouldn't interrupt, and then there I go. But I'm really excited about this. I think this is a wonderful project, and we all can use a new mask. I'm always getting new masks because I want to. So this sounds great. Can't wait to see what you have and to buy one or two. Thank you so much. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is telling you what you can do to help. So and she said that, so spread the word.
Are we set up to buy them as stocking stuffers? Can we just Venmo?
Yes, I would say yes. You can just do that unless Ashley wants to say no.
Ashley?
Yeah, good. So yes, everybody can Venmo if they want to buy a mask, and just I'll put my email in the chat. And people can email me if they want to buy a mask or help out as we're getting things organized.
Great. So wanted to do a little update on the Transitional Age Youth Internships. Charlie, are you here this morning? I thought I saw you. Crystal? She's here. She's away from her phone.
Sorry, I was multitasking and I'm terrible at it, as everyone knows.
Well, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so we have a few Rotarians who have offered to do some internships with our homeless or couch surfing youth. I talked to Tay yesterday, and they're very excited. Again, for anyone who wasn't at our last meeting, we applied for the district grant, and our district grant will fund clothing, a clothing allowance for homeless youth for job appropriate clothes, funds for California ID and birth certificate so they have the proper clothing, and it also funds a 32-hour internship. So we're really excited just to give these kids who face extra barriers of employment this opportunity and work experience. And so we're still looking for businesses. We have funding for at least 7 spots for youth or young adults. And so if you know any business owners who are interested or who might be interested, this is, the minimum goal is just to get them an internship, a paid internship, to give them, self-esteem and also the opportunity to gain job employment skills. Some of these positions that we're getting so far, they said they could turn into long-term employment, but that's obviously up to individual businesses. Do you guys have any questions?
Any questions? So how many more do we need? We still need a few more people to help us out with this, right?
Yeah, I think we need 4 more.
Okay.
And so even if you know any businesses, that would be great. And the only ones that we can't do are construction. So we did have another person, but it was a construction business, so we weren't allowed to take that opportunity.
Right. And this is possible. One of the things that's making this work is that that Sequoia personnel, I want to do a shout out to Tomas. They're offering to do all the payroll and all that stuff for us, so that it makes it a lot easier, because the hiring process can drag on for longer than 32 hours. So thank you, Tomas, for doing that. And they've agreed to waive their fees so that we're getting that just for the costs. It wouldn't have worked if we didn't have them stepping up to help us with that. So thank you very much for stepping up and doing that.
You can reach me by my email or my cell phone if most of you have it. So if you guys are interested or have any more questions, just let me know.
you. That's awesome. Yeah, we need a few more. So anybody who.
She knows right what to do.
Rebecca, you're not muted, just so you know. There we go. So highway cleanup's coming up next Saturday. And there is a sign up genius out there. We still need some people to sign in. Who wants to say anything about highway cleanup? Carol, do you want to say anything? You're muted, Carol.
No, I told you you took off your books. Hold on.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's perfect.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
For some reason, my speaker on my computer has stopped working. I keep forgetting about it. We have it set up at the moment so that people can sign up for a specific spot. We tried to divide them up so that it would take no more than an hour. And people, I will man a check-in station so you can individually pick up your stuff, get a quick orientation, and we're not going to gather as a group. I'll have to say, I have to admit right now, if we all go into a stay-at-home order, I'm imagining this ought to be canceled. Am I correct? This is all emerging, as we all know right now. Can any thumbs up, thumbs down? I think that that's what we need to do is if we have a stay-at-home order. Correct, Maggie?
I mean, I think that's probably true. This is not essential work.
It is not, even though we're going to do it where we won't be gathering. You can come between 10 and 12, and maybe we'll send out an email. It'd be great for you to sign up. The highway really needs it because we haven't done it for quite some time. So it'd be very satisfying, and it would be all outdoors and very distanced. I just don't want to, I'm willing to be out there if other people are willing to sign up and, you know, mask when you check out. Yeah.
Do we have this section from the bridge north, or does someone else have that section?
Someone else is supposed to have that section at the bridge, but I have not noticed any real cleanup going on down there, to be honest. So I don't think it would hurt to do that.
Awesome.
So I do believe we can do this safely, and households can go out individually, or you know, two people can keep spaced. I think of all the activities we do, this one could be done safely like that.
Yeah, I think.
And
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if I could pipe in, I've participated in a couple highway cleanups, and they're one of my favorite volunteer events because it gives you such a sense of pride every time you drive past it. So if you're looking for just a little pick-me-up in your own life, it's a really easy, fun event to do.
Absolutely.
I do believe we have Interact. So I guess I'm looking for some guidance. Should we just go forward with this since it's going to be very safe?
I mean, there's two ways of looking at it. One way is that if there's a stay-at-home order and we want to follow the spirit of that, we should not do it.
Okay. All right. Let's just leave it at that. If we get a stay-at-home order, we'll postpone. And if not, we'll be out there. I'll be out there just checking out equipment and giving kind of individual orientation. So you can do it anytime between 10 and 12. And I would estimate your section should take no more than an hour. So it's kind of a good in and out, and it's very much needed. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Carol.
Only 3 slots left.
Oh,
all right. Well, let's hope we don't have a stay-at-home order, but it's looking like we might.
It is. Luckily, even with a stay-at-home order, you're allowed to go out and get food. So I'm sharing the Rotary Club of Arcata Noon's holiday drive-by lasagna dinner information. If you go to their webpage, you can see how to sign up for that, and it looks pretty good. So let's support our brother sister club, whatever they are called. Oh, actually, they're our uncle, right?
Parent.
Support your parents and get some lasagna. All right. Raffle time.
Okay, here's the raffle. Today's pot is $60. Thank you guys for volunteering to, buy tickets and all that. It's helping us to keep it moving. Let's see who the winner is. Today it's Terry. And let's see if you're gonna win the whole thing. $5. So I'll send that to you through Venmo and you can put that back into the raffle next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Terry, for playing. Thank you, everybody else who has played along with this. And I want to say it's good to see so many of you here this morning, especially folks we haven't seen in a while. It's nice to see your faces or your photo. And I hope everyone is doing really, really well, or as well as we can be. We're going to go now to our presentation. I invited Marianne Heitkin here from English Express Empowered. I first learned about what they were doing, I don't know, a few years back, and I was just really impressed by her effort to help people learn English so they can be more integrated into the community in terms of being able to get jobs and communicate with the rest of us who are pretty monolingual. And I just was wondering how things were going for them during the pandemic, because of these classes are so important. So I asked her to come today and tell us what's going on for them and what they do. So Marianne, thank you so much for joining us. Please, it's all yours.
Thanks, Maggie. Can everyone hear me, first of all?
Oh, let me just say, if you'd like her to be bigger for this, if you go up there, I think you can pin her video if you click, and then that makes her bigger. I think you can do that.
Don't make me too big. I'm already 6'3".
We're not gonna make you taller. We're just. Anyway, take it.
All right, thank you so much, Maggie, for having me here this morning. I always imagined one day I would speak to Rotary. I just never knew it would be this way. So a little bit about myself, which will give you a deeper understanding of why English Express exists. I started my teaching career at Humboldt State University with a fabulous group of Japanese students. In the past, no longer, Japanese students used to come to HSU every summer to learn English. So that's where I started, about 40 years ago. And fast forward, I graduated from HSU and I wanted to get away from Humboldt as far as I could, like many young adults do. So I landed in San Diego and taught a number of years there. And every class had 45 students. These were middle school classes. And I was teaching, of course, English as a second language. And that's really where I learned my craft, was having 45 students every hour come through, 98% of them from Mexico. So I also picked up a little Spanish there. From there, I flew to the other side of the planet and taught in Tanzania. If you are familiar with the African continent, you know that's just south of Kenya. And I taught at an American international school. These schools are all over the planet, taught English and ESL. The gift there was not only being in Africa, but also the faculty, the staff, and the students were from 50 different countries on that one campus. It was a very rich and educational experience networking with those other teachers. And of course, it was just a fabulous overall experience. After that, I returned to California via 1 year teaching in the Bay Area, Fremont. And then I was just missing the Redwoods. I'm a Redwoods girl. My family's been here 5 generations now. We started as loggers out at Falk's Claim, and we're still here. So came back to Humboldt and landed a teaching contract at Winship Middle School, again, English. And then children and family came, and I stayed home. I actually homeschooled my children for a number of years, which was fabulous. Just an amazing experience as a parent and a teacher. And when the children grew up and they did transition into public school, they wanted to check that out. They did great there. Now they're young adults. I went back into education, but because I already had teenagers at home, I finally decided not to teach teenagers, which at that point I'd been doing 30 years. And so I taught adults English as a second language through College of the Redwoods. So I kind of came full circle after all those years, having started at Humboldt State with the Japanese adults, finishing at College of the Redwoods. One semester, I received the news from CR that they were canceling their entire ESL department for a semester. And my students were dismayed. They said, "Teacher, please, we'll pay you." Well, when I asked them, I was just curious, what could you pay? They said, you know, $3 or $4. And I, no. So that gave me an opportunity to create something for them. And during that past semester, my final semester with CR, I realized something. The students were coming to me after the weekend and asking me questions like, where can I find an immigration attorney? Where can I find food? Where can I get medical help or childcare? And I found that I was really excited about helping them with these, you know, connecting them with these types of services, but it wasn't my role as a college professor per se. So I was helping them with that, but it was increasing. The other thing that was happening is after we would come back again from a weekend, I'd ask them, what did you do? They stayed home. Next weekend, what did you do? They stayed home. And I'm thinking, wow, the Redwood Coast Music Festival was happening, and the Morris Graves just had this great thing going on at Clendenin's Apple Farm, and the Matticat had a special on the tour. And oh gosh, we got, you know, the Carson Mansion. They don't even know where it is, you know, because they're staying home. So this was another thing that was happening that was exciting me as their teacher. So going back to CR canceling that semester, I found a place at Jefferson Community Center where we could meet to hold classes. And I decided to offer them not only English classes, but also direct connections to the community services that they desperately needed, and also field trips to introduce them to the new place that they're calling home. And it was a great success. I took a leap of faith, literally quit my contract with CR, single mother with 2 kids, not much savings. My father actually purchased this whiteboard for me, Charles Hyken. Some of you might know him. He taught 3 generations of kids music here in Humboldt County. I still use the whiteboard now in my Zoom classes. And those are the 3 pillars today and for the past 5 years of English Express. And after that first month of teaching, St. Joseph heard about what was happening at Jefferson with the local immigrant population, gave us our first grant. And to date, we've had 6 different local foundations at different times fund the program. And of course, we do our own fundraising. Probably the best testimony that I've received from a student was one line: "This is like therapy for me." And really, this English Express dream started with a little girl who was about 10. And one summer here in Eureka, the next door neighbors had an exchange student from Japan. And that summer, her father bought a ping pong table from Sears. And every morning, that Japanese boy would jump over the fence that separated their 2 houses. And the little girl and the little boy would play ping pong almost every morning that whole summer. This would be like in the early 70s. He spoke no English. And of course, the girl didn't speak any Japanese, but one thing they had in common was the joy of playing ping pong. And they laughed and laughed and laughed. And they still didn't speak much of each other's language by the end of the summer. And on his last day in Eureka, before he flew back to Japan, it was a summer exchange student program, he knocked on her door and he had this little doll for her. And of course, you know, that little girl was me. And I think you can see it. This is a little porcelain doll from Japan. So I've had this now for about 46 years. And she's gone all over the world with me. And that's really the beginning of English Express, that desire to welcome people from other cultures, to connect with them, to welcome them. So this English Express is really my heart song, my soul song, that I've been very lucky, very blessed, if you will, to create here in Humboldt and to have fabulous support for. So very briefly, going back to those 3 pillars, I won't talk about the English part, that's my profession. The connecting community services. So I see Food for People is here today. We've had over 90, is it 90? Yes, we've had about 90 guest speakers come into the classroom since we opened in June 2016. And that's how I connect the students to the community services. So when Food for People came, they'd come several times. They would come at the very end of class, introduce themselves. And again, there's that personal connection, and it's in a safe environment for the students. And say, this is what we have to offer you. This is how you can access it. And guess what? I have the paperwork here today. We can fill it out right now for whoever who's interested. So now that we're in COVID times, we have a very active Facebook page. I think we're going on 3,000 people on the Facebook page, most of them immigrants, many of them local, most of them local. And they know they can go to the English Express Facebook page and see flyers from all these different community services in English and Spanish. If they're not in Spanish, I have a translator on board who can do a brief, very brief translation. And so Food for People and their distribution list has been on there for going on 5 years now, as well as many other different community service flyers. The field trips now, that's been a real heartbreak. We've had over 30 field trips in the last 4 years. And yes, we did get into the Carson Mansion 2 times. Thank you, John Garrick. I don't know if he's here today. John and I played in the jazz band together and went to school together. And catechism, no, Catholic church together. So anyway, a lot of connections. We did do the Redwood Coast Music Festival a couple of times, and we did the museum, Dick Taylor Craft Chocolates, the pottery studio in Old Town and made pottery, just everything I could think of. And growing up here and all the connections, it was so doable. And I was so happy to see how welcoming Humboldt County has been when I've contacted different businesses about setting up a field trip, and almost all of them were donated for free to the program. I would have to say the Carson Mansion was probably a favorite. The Mattakit we've been on several times. That was a favorite. And of course, Dick Taylor Craft Chocolates. You know, you get to eat all the chocolate you want. At the end, it's like Willy Wonka. That was a big hit too. But now we do virtual. That's me going out in the community and videotaping some place in Humboldt that they may not know. The beauty of the field trips is that many people don't know these immigrants are here, or they don't see them because they're working 1 or 2 jobs, and they go home, they have their families, they're tired, they stay home, maybe they don't feel safe. I don't need to address that. We know what that's about. And they just kind of stay home. So English Express, we would just go out as a bubble, you know, a safe bubble in our group. But what I didn't think about as I was creating all these field trips is that it gave the longtime residents here, all of us, an opportunity to interact with them and get to know them in a really fun environment. So it really went both ways. And I'm looking forward to post-COVID when we can go back to that again. But in the meantime, virtual field trips. We are, as I said, funded by a number of different foundations. Some of those, of course, have been St. Joe's, McLean, Rose Perrin, and Headwaters. Humboldt Area Foundation has been very generous, most recently giving us a set of Chromebooks for the students who don't have technology in the home to get online with us. And fundraising has been interesting. I prefer the in-person type fundraising. However, we did just finish our first online fundraiser. So it's been a different reality with the fundraising. Our numbers are growing, and we continue to apply for grants. We'll do another fundraiser next fall. So it's as an in-person classroom teacher, it's just been a whole different reality, you know, going into Zoom teaching. But at least we made it, you know, and we're here today. The students are very grateful. So future funding that we get right now. Right now we have enough funding almost to get through this time next year. And getting technology into the homes is a really big issue. And then training them on how to use it, because these are older students, like if I can say our age, and not all of them grow up like our children are, just it seems like second nature. They know how to work the technology. These are adults who are, say, in their, some are young, mid-20s, 30s, but many of them are much older, even up to their 80s. And while I was listening to your meeting earlier today, I went to my piano, and this is a photo of one of my students. She lives in Fortuna. She has the English Express t-shirt and hat on. Her name is Lena, and she's considered one of the matriarchs of the local Latino community. And she's in her 80s, and she has shown up religiously for almost every class for the last 3 years in Fortuna. She does not have a Chromebook at home. So she'll be one of those people receiving a Chromebook. The other challenge is internet. Not all of them can afford to pay for internet. So that's the next thing that I will be working on. So that's my story about English Express and what we do and what we're looking at for the future. We have expanded. Humboldt Area Foundation contacted me and asked if I'd be willing to expand to their sister counties. So actually just this past October, we've expanded to Del Norte, Trinity, and Curry. So that's been very exciting for the program as well. And I love to ask that too, but I love to answer questions. So if you have any questions for me, this is a great time. Shoot away. Thank you.
I think that's great. I'm sure there are questions. I have one. How many students do you have?
Right now with the online, I'd say we have roughly 50. We've had hundreds come through over the last 4 years. It's a very transient population. And out of that student body, there have been about 30 different nationalities just here in Humboldt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to ask a question?
I do. Did you ever get the opportunity to meet the boy that you played ping pong with and you traveled?
I did not, but I run into the host family. I think some of you know Bill Schauser. Maybe. He was a science teacher for many years at Eureka High School. And at that time, he was our next door neighbor in the host family. And I run into Bill once in a while at the co-op and I ask him, and he is still in touch with both, but I have not, but I'm very tempted to. And as I get older, I feel more inclined to do that, which I think, you know, we just get older and we're like, gee, I'd really like to connect with this person and just see what they've been doing. So I'm sure I will. That's a great question. Thank you.
Hi, Marianne. Hi, Marianne. I have a dual screen, which is really fortunate, and I'm able to look at your website, and I also looked at your Facebook page, and I will post a link in our newsletter to your page. But I'm impressed that you have translations of your website available with just from a drop-down menu. That's really great for your clientele, basically.
Thank you. Yeah, I have a very good website designer. I'm not a technology person, and I have to say honestly, when COVID hit, English Express went down for a month, and it was a little bit of blood, sweat, and a lot of tears for me. I wasn't even sure I could make the transition, but I had someone on McLean Foundation, Denise Marshall, gave me a little pep talk, and she said, just think about Zoom, Marianne, think about Zoom, and here we are. Who knew? You know, life is just full of one amazing surprise after another. We just don't see it coming. But this has been a real blessing, because there are students who cannot come to the in-person classes because of transportation, or for example, my Afghani population has exploded, and that's because my classes are men and women. And so the women won't come if there are men in the classroom. There's all these things that we need to consider and take into account. So now that I'm online, I have all these Afghani women coming and they don't show their face. I just see their name, but they're so grateful and very participatory. They are at every class and they're just deeply appreciating the opportunity to learn the language in their homes. So these are all, I could just go on. There have been many blessings to going online, and after COVID, I will keep the online schedule going because I've just, you know, welcomed so many new students having gone online, but it's the ones who've been left behind that I'm concerned about. The ones who've been with me for 4, 5, 6 years. Some were with me when I was with CR and just rolled over to English Express, and you know, getting the technology again into their homes and helping someone with them with the internet bill. Yeah. Thank you.
Anybody else? Pipe in. Right. Well, I am really grateful that you were able to come and do this. Thank you. Yes, applause.
Thank you.
I had wanted to have Marianne drop into a couple of our other meetings and it didn't work out. And then this week we had a cancellation of our other speakers. So we were able to give her the full time, which I really appreciate. On behalf of our club, we're going to give you $250. And this is
wow.
This is money that is coming from the district. It's COVID relief funds that we got additional funding. And so I know we can offer that to you today. And I wanted to let the club know that we're going to give you that funding to help with internet or whatever you can use it for. And then, and because this is definitely a need and so important that you continue your work.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I wish it were more. I wish it were more. And you know, our club can look at what they're doing and maybe they can help you in other ways. But I know today we can do that. And
I appreciate that. That's a surprise. I wasn't expecting that. And I can tell you right now, I know exactly where it's going to go. There's a student I've had for, gosh, 5 or 6 years now. She lives down in Rio Del, single mom with 2 twin girls. And I just communicated with her recently, and she'd love to be online, but doesn't have internet. So it's gonna go right to her. I've just been waiting, and there it is. So thank you so much. Her name is Judith, and I know she'll be very touched and very grateful. Thank you.
Yes,
and Maggie and Marianne, I mentioned that I'm going to publish a link to your website in the newsletter. There is a donation button on that website, so if any of you Rotarians want to make an individual donation, that's the way to do it.
And English Express is a nonprofit dream maker project of the Ink people. So your donations go straight to the Ink people, and then from there I take the money and it goes directly to the students. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dick, for doing that and for pointing out how easy it is to do that. Technology is a wonderful thing. You know, now I could, you know, some people stay home and they shop on Amazon. I stay home and I go and give donations. We're all different. I don't need more stuff, but I find ways to spend money online just the same. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. And are there any other questions for Marianne this morning? Great. If not, and then so I wanted to, we're also in your name, we're going to, I don't know what's going on here. Let's see. Can you guys see my screen?
I see it.
Okay, we're making a donation in your name to Tri-County Independent Living. They support people with disabilities of all ages and all types of disabilities. And we're going to make a donation in your name to that. And then I will get with Sophie and we'll get, I have the information I'll give to our treasurer so she can send that check to the Ink people for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. I wanted to leave you with this. I can tell you that Vanessa is going to be a great president because she's already given me useful tips. This is one of them. I wish I had done this today because halfway through the meeting, I don't know if you noticed that my computer went off, but my cat went behind and walked through all the wires and just got them wrapped around his body and was just pulling my entire system off. So this is great advice. Thank you, Vanessa. This is this good leadership direction right here to tape your cat to the wall before you start a meeting. So with that, everyone, I wish you well. We have a few more minutes before the end of the meeting. Does anyone want to make any kind of random or extemporaneous comment for the good of the order or announcement or anything? We have so many of you here we haven't seen in a while, or just such a big group. Anyone want to share anything?
I put it in the chat, Maggie, but Alex from Croatia, who visited our club last month, is inviting us to visit his club this month. And so I'll send forward the email from him because he's got a limit on how many people can Zoom. So there's a little sign up thing to do, but it'll be the 15th, which is a Tuesday, and it's at 11 o'clock our time. They meet at night. Marty and I were at his club last month, and they let me do my program in English, and then they switched to Croatian, but we stayed and watched anyway, and it was really fun because the dynamics between Rotary Club members seem to be the same in any language, even if you don't understand the language. So it was really fun.
Cool, that's great. Lisa, I saw you were raised. Oh wait, let's go to Romy first. Romy?
The Equity Arcata does an event called Home Away from Home, and a couple times each year we do a big potluck so that the students and the community can get together. And we have not been able to do that, which is heartbreaking. But 2 months ago we did a free stuff and distribution. Even in COVID, it's safe. We are going to do another one on December 12, and it will be giving away a hot meal, all prepackaged from La Barca, and stuff for winter warm stuff. So if you know of any students, Humboldt State or CR students, tell them that on December 12 from 3 to 4, we will be distributing a free meal and free winter warm stuff. 3 to 4 at the D Street Community Center on the 12th of December. And I may send out a little call for donations for stuff for the free table. We just give away as long as stuff lasts. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Oh, all right. Well, we will see some of you tomorrow, and then we will see some of you at our Sunrise Wednesday on the 9th. And there was a comment about Newsom recommending we still go outside. Sorry, good old what's his face. So maybe that is saying that we should go clean the highway because it is an outdoor activity. So so we'll see. It sounds like we can go forward with that because yes, it's exercise, it's fresh air, and it's good service. So let's do it. So we will see lots of you doing some great things in our community in the next week or so, and then back here on Friday, a week from today. And I'm going to take the tape off my cat, and I will see all of you guys next week. Take good care.